Well, that comment actually depends on what you expect a truck to do. If you need to tow a large camper every weekend, haul heavy equipment every day, or drive 100 miles for work, the Slate probably is not your truck. But what if you need something for Home Depot runs, yard waste, a trip to the dump, towing an occasional small trailer, or that one oversized item that simply will not fit inside a hatchback, crossover, or SUV? That's the question I want to answer today, and a couple of more. But the comments since my last Slate video revealed something very important. People are not just asking, is this a good deal? They're asking two key questions. Can this actually do useful truck work? And the other question I need to answer honestly, why did I order one? Now, we already own a 2023 Bolt EUV. We also have the 2024 Hyundai Ioniq 5. I understand the limitations and nuances of electric vehicles, and I know the Slate is not perfect. Show me one car that is perfect. So, why put down a reservation for a small, simple rear wheel electric truck with a projected range of about 205 miles? I ordered the Slate for three very specific reasons, and today I'm going to explain each one in detail. But first, I need to correct something from the last video. I saw this comment pop up a lot. The Slate does have AC standard, by the way. In the video, I said this about the criticism of the Slate: no AC, no screen, it's a ripoff. And after I did that, many viewers went straight to the comments instead of watching the entire video, because here's what I said later on in the same video. AC is standard. So let me make it clear at the beginning of this video. The Slate has heating and air conditioning. And by the way, the Jay Leno video that was recorded 6 months ago also said that the Slate would have two different battery sizes. We now know it only has one. And the representatives at that time said it would not have AC. Well, it does. It's a heat pump, and that's all you need to know. The real debate is about what it does not include, how much the options do cost, and whether the simple base model is useful enough for your life. Here's the truth. The Slate does not need to replace every truck to be useful as a truck. So let's start with the current projected numbers. The Slate is advertised at $24,950 as a basic, no frills pickup truck. It's expected to have about 205 miles of range, a payload capacity of 1,550 pounds, and 2,000 pounds towing capacity. It is a two-seat pickup in its basic configuration. It has one motor. It's designed to be simple, and it's intended to be customizable. Those numbers immediately tell us that this is not a heavy-duty truck like the Ford F-350, not even the F-150. It's not designed for long-distance towing. It is not your weekend camper. And Slate is not pretending that it is. The problem is that the word truck creates a lot of different expectations based on the recipient's understanding of what a truck is. For some, it's this right here. For others, it is this right here. For some, it means construction work, and for another, it means carrying mulch twice a year. And someone else, it means being able to buy an oversized television without borrowing a vehicle. One viewer, Zachary, explained the Slate's appeal better than almost anyone else in the comments. He said, I don't need a full-duty truck, just something for Home Depot runs or oddball items that I can't fit into a hatchback or an SUV. That sentence is key to understanding this vehicle. The Slate is not trying to be the most capable truck. It is trying to be enough truck for people who do not need an F-350 or even an F-150. That is the single most important distinction that can be made here. Period. Now, let's talk about why I ordered the Slate pickup. The first reason I ordered the Slate is practical. I want access to an open truck bed without committing to a large truck as my everyday vehicle. The Bolt is useful. So is the Ioniq 5, but neither one has an open bed. And that matters more than people sometimes realize. There are plenty of things I do not want inside a passenger vehicle. For example, bags of soil, wet sod, nasty yard waste, dirty tools, lumber, a lawnmower, a large television, a piece of furniture. Yes, I know you can rent a truck. And yes, I know you can ask a friend or a family member. Yes, you can have some items delivered, but those are not always convenient. And that's where a small pickup becomes useful. Not every day, not for every job, but often enough to make a difference. Zachary again described this perfectly when he was talking about hauling an 85-inch television they had bought from one of their local big box stores. It would not fit in their vehicles, so they had to borrow a pickup truck from a family member. Not necessarily convenient or good. That's not a heavy-duty truck problem. That's an occasional utility problem. And occasional utility is the first reason why I ordered one. I do not need a vehicle that can haul everything. I need a vehicle that can haul the things my current vehicles cannot. That difference is important. And oh, by the way, when I commute to work each day, I'm in the Bolt all alone. So a 2-passenger truck can also be used as my daily commuter. And it likely will be quite regularly. Now, does that mean the Slate will work for everyone? Absolutely not. If you need more passengers, better towing, more capacity, or something with more range, then the Slate is probably not for you. For me, the mission is not a heavy-duty work truck. The mission is adding a capability that my Bolt and Ioniq 5 simply do not have: an open bed, light-duty hauling, occasional towing, and a vehicle that is still small enough to live with every day. That's reason number one. Now, the second reason I ordered the Slate is design philosophy. I like the idea of starting with a simple vehicle and adding only the things I actually want. Keith said this in the comments: vehicles come way over equipped. In this case, you get to customize your own. That comment received a lot of positive response because it gets at the frustration many people have with modern vehicles. Vehicles have become increasingly expensive. They come with large screens, complex software, multiple cameras, sensors everywhere. Features that are impressive during a demonstration but may not matter to every owner. And when something in one of those vehicles fails, that repair is going to be expensive. Now, I'm not against technology. I own an Ioniq 5. Even my Bolt EUV has Super Cruise. I enjoy technology when it improves the experience. But I do not believe every driver needs the same equipment package. That's a bill of goods that's been sold to us by the auto market, the NADA. The Slate takes a different approach. It says, here's the basic vehicle. Add the options that make sense for you. That approach appeals to me because it gives the buyer a choice. And I want to be clear about something. Simple does not automatically mean better. Simple can also mean inconvenient. No built-in infotainment system may sound refreshing to one person and frustrating to another. Using a phone or a tablet for certain functions may be perfectly acceptable to one owner and completely unacceptable to another. The honest argument is this: fewer features may mean fewer things to repair, but only if the remaining features work well and the owner can live without the extras. That's what I'm going to find out. I ordered the Slate because I want to test the idea in the real world, not just repeat the marketing. Can a vehicle really be easier to own because it's simpler? We're going to find out. Can the owner add useful equipment over time? We're definitely going to find out. Does customization make the vehicle feel more personal? I believe it will. Or does the base model feel incomplete after the novelty wears off? Again, we're going to find that out together. Those are not questions we can answer from a computer screen or from behind a keyboard. They require living with the vehicle, and that's exactly what I intend to do. And the ability to customize it is what made it feel different from a normal vehicle purchase. So that's reason number 2. The third reason I ordered a Slate is a little bit more personal. I want to test the claims honestly. I am not ordering one because I believe every promise has already been proven. I am ordering one because I believe the idea is important enough to investigate properly. There is a difference. A reservation is not proof that the company will succeed. A low advertised price is not proof that the final vehicle will satisfy every buyer. A prototype is not proof of long-term reliability. And enthusiasm is not evidence. Several viewers made that very clear. Mugs R said they loved the idea but wanted to see the reliability, the crash information, and fire safety before deciding whether to park one in their garage. Another viewer said they wanted to know how real-world situations work out before placing an order. That's the correct attitude. Interested, but not blindly committed. I ordered one because I want to be able to answer questions that cannot be answered from a website or a single test drive. What is the actual highway range? How does the battery perform in cold weather? What happens when the AC is running? How easy is it to charge? How does the vehicle drive? How loud is it inside the cabin at highway speed? Does the interior feel cheap or does it feel intentionally minimum? How does it haul and how does it tow? Is it easy to load? How easy is it to get in and out of? And with thousands of comments in the comments section, the list of questions is endless. And they're all real and valid questions. That's why I am not going to pretend that ordering one makes me a Slate fanboy. In fact, ordering one gives me more responsibility. If I'm going to talk about a company and the vehicle, I need to be willing to show what works and what does not. If the range disappoints me, I will say that. If the base model feels too stripped down, you will definitely hear about it. If the truck is uncomfortable, difficult to charge, or impractical with cargo, you will know that in a New York minute. If you don't believe I'll criticize something that's messed up, then you need to go back and watch a few of my videos about the Bolt EUV. Better yet, ask General Motors what they think about my comments about the Bolt. And the Bolt is my favorite car of all time, and I still criticize it. And if it turns out to be a great fit for normal daily use, I will blow the horn so loudly that Air Force One will feel the sound waves. That's the whole point. I'm not ordering one to prove that every viewer should buy one. I'm ordering one to find out who should buy one and who should not. Your needs, your budget, your priorities, they can all change. And the right answer may be, I like the Slate, but I should probably buy something else. I want to take this from concept to real life. So that's reason number 3. Now let's answer the central question directly. Can the Slate actually do truck things? Yes. The projected payload is 1,550 pounds, and back in the day, that was called a 3/4 ton pickup. Towing capacity is 2,000 pounds. It also has a 5-foot bed, and that is a longer bed than you'll find on the Ford Maverick and the Rivian R1T. Both of those only have a 4.5-foot bed. If you can pick up something from one of those stores in a standard pickup, then you can likely pick it up in the Slate. It will have at least 205 miles of range. But does that mean you'll see 205 miles on the highway driving 80 miles an hour? Or when the weather is below freezing for extended periods of time? Or while you're hauling that 1,500 pounds and towing a small trailer? No. But then again, your standard 20 mile per gallon truck isn't going to get 20 miles per gallon when you're speeding, hauling, towing, and driving with the heat on in the dead middle of an Arctic outbreak either. Now is it? Answer honestly. The specifications and ratings are a starting point. real-world testing is the next logical step. A full-size truck may carry more, but it also costs more. It uses more energy. It's going to be harder to park, and it'll be more vehicle than you need for 95% of your driving. You heard me right, 95%. A small truck may carry less, but if it handles the jobs that you actually have, it may be the more sensible vehicle. And that's the argument I'm testing, not whether the Slate can beat a heavy-duty truck. Anybody with 1.5 cents already knows the answer to that, so why bother making a comment in the comment section of this video? It proves nothing at all. So why are you typing right now? The only question I have is whether it can do enough to replace the need for borrowing, renting, or owning a much larger vehicle. And that's what I'm setting out to prove. When the Slate arrives, there are a few real-world tests that I will perform. A normal Home Depot run. I want to see how the load is and how I can secure it and unload the items when I get them home. Second, a yard waste or dump run that will tell whether the bed is genuinely useful for dirty and awkward cargo. Third, I'm going to haul a small utility trailer. I want to measure the energy consumption before and after a trailer is attached. Fourth, a simple highway test, not a gentle local drive, but a realistic highway trip at normal speeds, which are kind of weird here in Florida. 60 means 70, 70 means 80, and anything above 70 means 100. That's a joke. Fifth, a comfort and livability test. Can I use this vehicle every day? I'll commute in it for at least 2 solid weeks. Is it comfortable? Does the simple interior remain pleasant after the first month? And finally, a charging test. How easy is it to recover range after using the vehicle work? I'll test charging at home, and I will test a fast charger. These tests matter more than just a walk around, and these 6 tests will be performed soon after its arrival, not necessarily in that order, but all 6 will be done, plus a whole lot more. So let's wrap this up. Why did I order the Slate? Well, the first reason is practical. The second reason is philosophical. And the third reason is responsibility. I want to test the promises honestly. I want to find out how it drives, how it charges, how it hauls, how it tows, how it handles real weather, and whether the company can support the vehicle after they've made delivery. I did not order the Slate because I believe it's perfect. I ordered it because I believe it's interesting and potentially useful, and is important enough of a vehicle to examine in the real world. So drop a comment below. What's the first real world job you would ask the Slate to do if it was parked in your driveway? And if you have reserved one, what is the one thing you need to see before you actually take delivery? I would love to hear your real world reasoning. That's the whole reason I make these videos. And the next video on the Slate will be out sometime in August. This is the last one I'm going to do until probably August 15th or later. Coming up this weekend, I'm going to do a video about how heat affects your battery and some of the fake news about that. And until then, I want to thank you for watching, and I will see you out there or somewhere along the route from point A to point B. Take it easy, everybody. I'll see you all real soon.